let's get ready to podcast.
All right, here we are, live from Nashville.
You said that was my line. I was going to say live from Nashville, and you knew I was going to do that.
I knew you were going to do it.
And we're in your house.
Well, you can't tell me what you're going to do. I got excited.
I can't believe you did that. You know, we're going to start again. This is going to stay rolling, but I'm live from No, you can't do it with me.
Why do you get to do it?
I can't sing a song, and this is I just having a moment.
Live
from Nashville, Dustin Smith, James Galbraith,
and James.
Boom! In Nashville, live coming to you on, by video and by audio and by the ebook when it comes out of the podcast. Yeah!
Well, have you been on like a marketing thing where you're like, you have to make everything like an ebook?
Ebook,
video.
Yeah, you get a free pamphlet with that.
Yeah, we've got a new TV show
We've got
now.
a new TV show. It's called Dustin and James Fight Crime.
And it's the exact same thing 7 times.
Yeah, it's just us sitting at a table.
In different ways, just in case you're bored.
We're fighting crime. But this month we're talking about Be Fierce. We just talked about healing.
We did
last month, and now we're into Be Fierce.
Be Fierce. We even created an entire movement. We got a men's conference. We got families. We got people who are just
rah! They wanna be fierce.
So that's what you think of when you think of the word fierce.
It is, isn't it? It's like the definition of
Some
be
people
fierce
don't like it. It's the same thing when I wrote that song "Chaotic Love." Some people hate that word "chaotic."
Well, because they misinterpret fierce as like the violence and angry and like looking after like a bear looks after its cubs. A beer.
Why is that a bad thing? Well,
beer.
Beer you should not leave your kids with beer.
How do you say that? Beer. Bear.
They're
like the animal.
Beer.
Bear.
Bear. Yeah. Beer is a.
They don't look after
something
cubs.
Else. No, they shouldn't.
No. Cubs should not be anywhere near.
Never ever put your kids with beer.
Or with a beer.
or a bear.
How do you say that?
It's a bear.
Anyway, so I was looking up fierce things. Right?
Were you?
Yeah, I was looking up some fierce things, and I've got myself
pictures or
no.
Okay.
I'm starting to read now, but I found like this list of things, and I know we've been doing lists a lot, but I like them because it starts a conversation with us. But these are
the
like
only thing that you can find.
These are some things that all men think are manly, and I wanted to know what you
all
thought.
All men think they're manly, and then you want to know what I think.
I want to know what you think about it.
So you're thinking I may not be a man because if all men think they're manly, and I have a different opinion.
That's not what I'm saying.
That is what you just said. You just said all men think these are manly.
Yeah, but this is like saying all men, but they haven't interviewed me, so how do they know all men think this?
Well, that's what I'm asking. But then I said all men, and you said yes.
Well,
but we're going to ask you.
That's what this title says. All
then
men.
You said, but we're going to ask you what you think.
I don't think they've done their research, so.
Well, no, they didn't because they didn't ask me.
Yeah, they didn't ask me.
What if I have a different opinion?
Then that we can sue them.
Then
this is America. It's going to finance the rest of these podcasts.
We're going to fiercely come after you.
Fiercely. So number one, you want to hear what they are?
Is this in ranking? So like number one is like the number one.
No,
thing.
I think it's just random.
Okay, so you haven't really done your homework. You don't.
I have.
I've
done it, but I don't know if it's like.
You're guessing that this.
It's got a number one by it, but I don't know if it's like the first one.
Well, it is the first one. It's got a number one by it.
Oh, then we'll go for that. This is the top one.
Then should we start at 15 then? How many of them are there?
18, but I'm not going to do all of them.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I probably will actually.
Okay. Should we start at 18 and then be like number one?
8. Okay, you want to do that?
I don't know. Is number one the best?
It's pretty good.
Okay.
Should we get to the list? Ross like, shut up. Okay, we'll go start from 18.
Okay.
18. Throwing the GPS out the window. Which I don't know why you do that.
Why would you do that? I've got my GPS is on my phone. What a horrible idea.
Waste of money.
This is not fierce just because you. Why would you? Why is it fierce throwing your phone out the window? That's my GPS.
I think what it's saying is that men don't like to use a device for directions, which I also don't agree with.
I don't agree with that at all because I can't imagine driving anywhere. I leave my house and turn on. I know where I'm going and I turn on Waze or Google Maps.
Yeah, because it tells you like the best route now around traffic.
Yeah, it tells me where the accidents are, get past it. So I think it's not a manly thing to do. That's a dumb thing to do.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, plus it's on my phone. I'll be tossing my phone out, which there are times I have thought about throwing my phone out the window and my wife says, you don't get to buy another one.
Yeah.
And it keeps me from throwing it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yep.
Okay, drug that one off the list.
Yep.
Number 17 was cigars.
I mean, I think it's dumb.
Yeah, I think that's dumb too.
Yeah, why does that have to be a manly
You pay
thing?
for it and then you burn it. Seems ridiculous. It's like
Why
buying a
don't you
house.
just roll up a big wad of money and
Yeah.
light it on fire,
It's
stick
like,
it in your
I'm
mouth?
going to buy this house. Then what are you going to do? I'm going to put kerosene all over it and burn it. I mean,
That's a manly thing to do.
yeah, it's a manly thing to do.
I'm just going to stand and
burn
inhale the
things.
smoke.
And go,
So so that house becomes a part of me.
yeah, that was $70 down the drain. Well, that was good.
Yeah, well, so-
okay,
so
that's
far we're
the
over
first
two.
two. There's two dumb ones. Man caves. Now, see, men seem to like these.
Yeah.
They like to get away, but it's
Well,
like,
that's because we like caves, but we like caves for hibernation, and nobody else wants us doing that.
And
Nobody
Batman.
wants us to hibernate.
Batman has a cave.
That's true, but bat poop and everything like that is just horrible.
Guana or whatever it's
Yeah,
called.
no.
They give it a good name.
But I do think man cave. I agree with that.
Guana.
Ding.
Man cave?
1 for 3.
1 for 3. All right,
Yep.
next one. Being good at something stupid. Like who can drink the most or who can eat the most slices of pizza.
I think I love it.
Yeah. I remember one time we had a party and you bought like those huge pizza. I don't know how big they
Those
were.
were enormous. I couldn't fit them. We had to open the double doors to get it in the van.
And that's like a manly thing to do is to buy stuff
That you can't finish.
that you can't fit in your car.
Yeah, remember, I mean, that's the thing is like, so I'm really good at ordering pizza. Gina doesn't think so, but Gina thinks that if like there's one piece left, like we did a good job. But I don't think so. I think everybody stands there like, I feel bad eating the last piece.
Yeah, you gotta
know,
make some decisions.
Yeah, and somebody might not have gotten one. So if there's only one piece left, that probably means none of us got full because we were all being too cautious. So to me, when we have 10 people over, I feel like 20 pizzas is a good number.
That seems like a good number, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you have like some options at the end.
Yep.
And
So
then
I'm
you also,
really good at a
you have-
stupid thing.
you have breakfast the next morning.
End up for the next 3 weeks.
That's perfect.
Yes.
Next one is flannel. Now I don't know flannel. Like I'm guessing flannel shirts,
Yeah, if it's flannel shirts, that's fine. Flannel sheets, horrible.
flannel sheets. I don't know who
No,
would
you
ever
just
use
suffocate.
those.
Jeremy probably. Weedman.
Jeremy Weedman would use those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's a mountain man though.
He'd curl up in those.
Yeah.
It seems so hot.
Yeah.
Seems like-
Yeah. You would think. And you'd think that beard would already keep him hot, but no.
And
that
it's long
hair,
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halfway down his back.
Yeah. Well,
Not his hairy back. Okay, next.
poor Jeremy. He'll never listen to this. Then we've got lumberjacking.
Lumberjacking, well, that kind of goes with the flannel.
Have
Same
you ever done
difference.
lumberjacking?
I've never seen a lumberjack without flannel.
That's true. And they're always like eating bacon and chopping things down.
Yeah, which is stupid, which is a man thing.
It's a man thing.
Yeah, so I guess lumberjack, whatever.
Lumberjack, that could be a thing.
I'm in.
All right, building something.
No, I think it's well. I mean, it should be, but listen, I like to consider myself a man.
Yeah.
I do not. I'm probably not the best builder.
I put together an IKEA bookshelf once.
You did?
Is that building?
No,
Isn't it?
no.
I
That's
did use the Allen key and everything.
no. Asher, my 6-year-old, could do that. So
Well, I've got another one. Do you mind sending it over?
your wife will probably already have it put together.
She
So
actually does. I was actually out the other day, and I came out of the bedroom or something like that, and I was like, "Where is she?" And she's out the back with the circular saw, cutting up shelves and stuff. And I was like, "All right,
yeah. Well, she
Don't make
had to
him
get
mad.
to it before you cut your own arm off.
yeah,
so.
I probably would." Next one, Bruce Willis.
Manly thing, you mean? Well, yeah, Die Hard. I mean,
Die
you can't be
Hard.
a part of a movie called Die Hard and not be a manly man.
Yeah, that's pretty manly when he
Yeah.
walks through the
He's
glass.
intense. He's not Chuck Norris intense, but he's intense.
That's very true. Put Bruce Willis and Chuck Norris in the movie, you got a blockbuster hit.
Yeah.
Take that, Hollywood. Explosions of any size.
Yes.
I always like to
yes,
blow things up.
Yes.
The coolest thing about coming to America, because in New Zealand they've banned pretty much any firework you can get.
Yes.
So here they have a
Well,
fire.
they ban them in a lot of places here too, but not in the South, not in Nashville.
No.
And like New Year's Day, I was surprised because it's like everybody's got their guns out and their fireworks, and it's like 4th of July on New Year's Day. I don't even know. They're just looking for an excuse to blow things up.
Well, it's funny, and then you got these big fireworks warehouses, and they're right next to a gas station, which I think is just a fire hazard. But I was like, that is America, right
no,
there.
it's
That's brilliant.
Well, I mean, you don't
Get gas, get some,
Yeah.
M40s.
and you want to put it close to a gas station because it's the one place you should not be smoking or lighting anything.
yeah, that's very, very
so
true.
yeah, okay,
Next one I've got in here, football,
yes,
manly.
it's manly.
Now, fighting. It's got fighting here. Like, you have to have a fight. Have you ever been in some big major fights?
I've been in a couple.
I mean,
A
without...
kid punched me in the face one time and broke his hand. And I chased him down, and I wanted to beat him up, but then I felt bad because he was a friend.
Wasn't that in church?
Why do you have to tell the whole story?
Well,
It doesn't
I don't
really
know,
matter.
I'm guessing.
My kids never need to hear that story.
No, it wasn't at church.
And I didn't swing first. He swung and hit me.
Yeah, you didn't do anything.
No, I
you
was
were just standing
defending
there.
myself.
Yeah,
At that point, it was a fight against darkness.
Yeah, you were fighting the principalities. Yeah, I understand that. Fighting, so that's pretty manly.
Light and dark. Yes.
I don't think I've ever been in a real fist fight.
Well, after this, we'll throw some gloves on or something.
Okay. I don't, okay.
You're gonna love it.
I'm gonna love it. It's gonna be so much fun. Okay, leather jackets.
No. It's
James
just
Dean,
dumb.
Indiana Jones, those
No.
type of jackets.
Michael Jackson. No.
Michael Jackson.
No.
Yeah,
Michael Jackson. That just told you no.
Michael Jackson. All right, we're moving past that one. So leather jackets, guys. Not
Well, I
manly.
mean, I'm not going to say no if I see a biker walking up to me with a leather jacket.
Well, I mean,
I'm
that's
probably not
for-
going to go, that's not manly.
That's for protection, isn't it?
I don't know what it's for, but I'm probably not going to call it unmanly.
So we're saying
So if we have a bunch of biker friends out there, I think it's very manly.
it's manly for our own safety.
Yes.
Steaks. You're a big steak eater.
I am, and I think if you don't eat steak, you're not a man.
Yeah, eat steaks. Steaks are good for
Sorry,
you.
guys. Sorry, veggies.
That's all right. Yeah, sorry, vegetarians. Man, what do you miss? What do you like?
You can
missing?
replace the word vegetarians with girls.
Yeah, we'll get to that next podcast.
I'm sorry, Leah. I'm just kidding. I know a lot of you.
Yeah, that's
I shouldn't have
offensive.
said that.
That's
That was horrible.
It's offensive to women.
We'll beep that out. We won't probably. But
So guns. Oh, this is a tough one. And
why
here,
is it tough?
As in America,
You're in
you know,
America.
this-
It's not tough at all.
Well, it's not because everyone.
We
seems
should
to
all
one.
have guns.
Well, I've got two of them right here. Oh, they're not loaded.
This is why we should not do video, because that you still would have even done that without video. You still would have done it. And this is how you get people to watch our video.
Yeah,
That's a horrible. Nobody's gonna watch it now.
Well,
Nobody wants
people-
to see you.
people need a good laugh every now and then.
Just
Watch me flex. Okay, going on 3 left, and then we can get onto this next section here. So cars, they're big car guys. Brent Radowski up in Canada, he's a big car guy.
Yeah.
He would consider that very manly to like the curves of a car, right? You know, and the engine and the roar, right?
What's the next one?
The headlights. I don't know.
No. What's the next question?
All right,
What's
the next one. Big dogs.
Big dogs. Big dogs.
You always wanted a Mastiff.
I did, but I don't know if it makes you manly to have one. It doesn't really make sense.
They're just
Because
super
even the
protective.
Mastiff loved Gina way more than he loved me and would protect her.
Isn't that good?
I don't know if that makes me manly having one. He wanted to kill me at times. The dog wouldn't let us sit close together. It walked between us. And then and listen, just to be honest, guys, if you have a little Chihuahua and you're a guy, that's not manly.
Yeah,
That's just
doesn't look
not.
good.
It has to be a big dog.
Yeah,
If it's a big dog,
Like a wolf.
it can't be more. Yeah, if you have a wolf in your house,
just leave.
you're manly.
Yeah, yeah. You have to, even if you do have a Chihuahua, you have to have a wolf to offset it.
To eat it.
Oh yeah, you feed it. Oh, that's terrible.
Where is
We're gonna
this
get
going? This
I'm
is
going to the next
horrible.
one. The first one, the number one.
Number one.
Number one.
This probably
Numero
isn't number
uno.
one, but we made it number one.
What
Because of
it is, most manly thing, beards.
yeah, I agree.
Having a beard.
Sorry, Garner.
Right, Garner? Garner can't grow one. It's
Well,
hard.
he's still at that age where
Yeah.
it hasn't.
He's coming.
Certain body changes
He's
are
coming.
happening. He's working on it.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's gonna happen,
get through it,
buddy.
buddy.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You and Klaus,
Praying
you
for ya.
guys, your little patches.
Little patches of hair.
We're
little
believing
fuzzies.
for you to just break through and become
and-
a man.
Yeah. Yeah, you might try and rub some of that Rogaine on there or something. Anyway.
Wow, that was fun.
That was fun. So that's those are the top manly things. If you agree with us, then you can comment, and if you don't agree with us, then
That's
just-
okay because
yeah,
I didn't
just
agree
turn
with
it off.
half of them either.
Yeah, they weren't like
No,
yeah. It's all
those are-
subjective, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Well, we're coming up next. Next thing we're going to be talking about is a fierce attitude.
Yes.
So we're going to be talking about be fierce. We may get into what this movement is about and what
Yes.
we're trying to do, and then getting that attitude of be fierce right after these.
Yep.
Be Fierce Conference is coming to Kansas City on June 10th, 2017. Be Fierce is a movement that pushes men to be more than spectators and challenges them to become who they're meant to be. If you want to be a real man or know someone that should be, register now at BeFierce.com.
Healing is Right is a website and an app that has free resources for healing. It contains free music written specifically for healing, testimonies, a prayer wall, and much more. On the prayer wall, you can request prayer at any time and even pray for others. Everyone knows someone sick, so help us help them. Available now on the App Store or Google Play.
All right, we're back.
Yes, we are.
After learning about all the manly things that we should and should not be.
Yeah, I guess.
You can kind of make up your own decision on those
Yes.
sort of things. Now we're getting into what is Be Fierce. Now, you started a Be Fierce movement
Yes.
under Here Be Lines.
Yes.
And really it was to try and get into the hearts and lives of men
Yeah.
to begin with, and now it's kind of exploded into families and kids and all sorts of things. So
Yeah.
where did that kind of come from so everyone knows?
Yeah, I think the interesting thing for us when we started Be Fierce, I think people look at us and they know that we're intense. We have an intense, character about us. But I think for so long we were so passive. I was
Yeah.
really raised in probably religion was more passive, and basically it was almost like we're always the victims, And when you start understanding Scripture, really we joke about the men thing, but being fierce doesn't have to do with being a man,
Right.
And it doesn't even really have to do with manly characteristics, or that's why we're talking about girls and some of the things about girls. We're going to talk about that I think next time.
Yep.
Just the idea of their inner beauty and things like that. Truth is, for me, it's an attitude that says, why is the enemy always the aggressor, and then Christians are always the victims?
Yeah.
I almost feel like people play the victim mentality, and really the word fierce actually means intense. There's an intensity to this move and what God's doing. And all throughout Scripture, the people that you find actually stepping into things are not people who are overbearing or angry or mean. They're people who have an intense character that basically says, like, even, we can joke about Moses being fearful at the burning bush of and that's where people tend to go, well, I don't know what to say, or and that's what they tend to do. They go, well, I'm
Yeah.
like Moses. And remember, Moses is in that position because he killed a dude who was attacking his people.
Right.
Like physically killed him, and it put him on the run. So this is a guy who has an intensity about him, but people tend to try to attach themselves to the least side of the character.
Yeah.
So they're going to say, well, that's me. I don't speak very well. And I don't. Yeah, but God still pushed him out because he knew the destiny inside him, and he knew you're not allowed to take this in a natural route. Now, when fierceness is taken in a natural route, it causes you to do things in a natural way that is not what God's asking you to do. But my thing is there's so much injustice happening around us, and we tend to just sit back and always play the victim. When Amos 5:23 says, you know what I want from you? I want justice to flow like a river and mercy to run like a stream. Well, flow and move are active words. There's an activity to it. And I feel like God is raising up a generation that's going to move forward. The Bible says the kingdom of God is advancing forcefully, and forceful men lay hold of it. That means there's going to be a fierceness about our attitude. I want it to be fierce love. That means intense love. I want it to be fierce. Sounds weird, but almost fierce peace. What does that mean? That means that I'm not just a keeper of peace. I'm an establisher of peace. An establisher actually has to have an intense direction, an intense drive to put me in position to be able to overtake this kingdom of darkness that's trying to rule our attitudes and our hearts and our minds. So we're actually trying to get people who are not just always playing the victim, laying down, and guys, we're trying to get guys off the couch. It's
right.
funny. It's funny because a lot of them, their personalities, they would say, well, I'm not an intense character. And some ladies might be on here listening well, I'm a really quiet person. I'm a shy person. Yeah, you may be, but if you're a person like a young girl who had an incredible dad, and somebody attacked your dad, you would turn into like Wolverine. Your nails would grow, and all of a sudden you'd be like, because there's something in us that is intense about the things we really love and care about.
Yeah.
And so I think God is actually calling us to really care about fighting against injustice. I feel like God is really trying to get us to raise up, to be intense about not just football, be intense about family. not just intense about my outward look and how I look, but intense about how my family is perceived, how things are in my family. And I want to start raising up a generation that fights. And we're starting with men. We're starting with trying to get men to be fathers, to be true sons. Malachi says he's going to return the hearts of the fathers to the sons and the sons to the fathers. There's a turning that is happening, and I believe he's going to start put us in an intense position to be able to actually override the things that are coming at us and start to cause us to move forward with a new destiny and a new purpose.
Yeah, and I love that. I love that you brought up personalities and response, because those are the two ones for me that are huge, because people are like, well, it's not my personality to be fierce unless the situation dictates you being fierce, like a mother over her kids or a guy with his football game or whatever when they throw the bottle across the room or the chicken wings. And then you've got like the response. But why is it that, men in particular or people, especially even in church life, because women seem to take the charge in this sort of area of responding to God. Yeah. Why is that so hard for people to do?
Well, I think it's our hunger level and what we've trained ourselves to eat, So we've got guys who are more satisfied with a football game and they feel the energy and the life of it, and they didn't really play in the game, but they feel involved because they'll say things like, "We won." Yeah. And I was like, no, you didn't. You just gained 10 pounds, eating a whole pizza during a football game. You didn't burn any metabolism. You didn't put it on. But they feel like because they're wearing the jersey,
they're in the game.
That they're in the game. And the enemy uses it to lull us to sleep, to give us a false sense of success, to say, well, we won, and you feel this energy from it. We always joke, I'm not a huge LeBron fan. I'm a Pacers fan. We joke about this, but the intensity of it makes us feel like we've partnered with those groups.
Right.
And so what happens is, if I'm watching Kansas City Chiefs or I'm watching a football game, for me, like, I'm more removed from it now because I don't feel like that is an identity thing for me. I don't feel like, oh man, we won. I enjoy sports. I love watching sports, but it doesn't drive my passions anymore. I start to realize, like, I'm not really active in that game. I can enjoy it. I can laugh. We can watch a Super Bowl or we can do some stuff. But the truth is like, it does not move me like it used to. And now I realize the things that move me are things I actually get to be a part of. And I think guys have to wake up to the fact that you've been lulled to sleep, feeling like I might be involved and engaged in a game I'm not really playing.
Yeah.
And what fierce does is it awakens us to an intensity to the right things. So some guys would say, my passion overtakes me. Maybe it's towards women. Maybe it's towards, and the enemy starts to drive your passions.
Yeah.
And so you feel fulfillment in that, like you're in the game. But truth is, like, guys who are driven by lust, most of the time they're not in that game because the person that they're looking at on a computer or something, that's not theirs.
Yeah,
that is not their person. That is not somebody that is a part of their life, but the enemy gives you a fulfillment and makes you feel that way to keep you from really getting into a true relationship with somebody who is a part of your life.
And it's very short term.
Very
it's
short
term fulfillment.
It's a very short term fulfillment.
Same with football or anything like that. It's very short term until the next game.
Yeah, and it's sad because like even our culture and our society, you could be sitting on the couch with your own kids, lost in the world of social media, reading about other people's lives and not being a part of it, but somehow getting a fulfillment out of it when your own kids and your own family are sitting right beside you and you get none from them.
Yeah.
Or you give none to them.
Yeah.
So now you realize you're not a part of the game. You're wearing the jersey, you look like a dad because you got kids around you, but you're not part of the game. All you're doing is you're watching the activity, and their successes eventually are not going to be your successes. And they're not going to be able to look back and say that he led me with passion and intensity towards the things of God. You're going to say he threw a remote control to a football game. That's what he was in love with. He was in love with his social media. He was in love with his phone. He was in love with his work. And I am not against work. I'm not against social media. I am not against sports in their right place. But when you feel like you're playing a game because you got a little bit of a feeling out of it, as opposed to being involved in the game of life in an intense way, then the enemy has you deceived and he has lulled you to sleep.
That's wild and really, really good. Now I want to ask you one more question. And so we've been pushing this. I know you've researched it. I know you've lived it your whole life. If you walked into a church, ideally, what would you want to see in the church, in people when they come into church, to be to be fierce? What if you were looking now, you're leading worship or something like that, or you're in just even in the congregation? What would be ideally what you would want to see the church become?
I would want to see the church become participators.
Because I know there's no formula. Like, we're not looking for,
No.
like, you have to do this, you have to do this.
Yeah.
But there's got to be, what would you just love to see?
I want to see participators. I do not want to see an audience. If you show up as an audience, and it tells me you're not part of the game. People who are fierce are intense, and they're intentional.
Yeah.
There's an intention to it. So when I show up to be fierce, fierce tells me direction. I'm directioning my attitude, my heart, my mind towards this one thing. And when I'm here, I'm fully involved here. And I've said that to you before, like when we're in the van, and somebody's on their phone the whole time, and we're like 4 hours into the drive and we've had no conversation. I was like, be present now. Be with me now. Like, we get to sit here and have this drive, hang out and talk, and people can sink into this world,
Yeah, yeah.
And this was years ago when you were probably like 13 or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
it's
don't
not
hardly
even-
ever do that
Or last
anymore.
week, but no.
What? Wait, what? I was reading the Bible.
But if I were to walk into churches, I want to see participation. I'm
Yeah,
not
that's
even
good.
looking for uniformity. I'm looking for unity.
Because I think that's where the mistake is. They're like, oh, we have to do everything. Like,
Yeah.
the lead says raise your hands or do whatever.
Yeah.
And it's not about that. It's about the participation. It's unison, but not uniformity.
Well, you can tell if somebody's involved in a conversation with you or looking past you.
Yeah.
And I feel like too many times people are looking past the moment. They're not grabbing onto the moment. And when I see people in churches, I don't need you yelling all the time. That's not fierce to me. Fierce is not being mean or being over aggressive. Fierce is being intentional and directing the passions in the right way. So I'm going to come at this in a way when the enemy's going to come at me so hard and intense. I'm going to bring a new level of intensity, but I'm going to bring an intensity of passion, of life. How about just intense life, a fierce life?
Oh, yeah, for
a
sure.
living life. So when I walk in, I want to see people who are living real life in a church together, who are taking care of each other, looking in each other's eyes, making sure no one is left behind, and making it very intense and very intentional.
That is the Be Fierce attitude.
Yeah.
Heard by Dustin Smith and the Herbie Lines team.
Yeah.
So go ahead, take that, sink it into your heart, listen to it again if you need to, because
Yeah.
that's all really good stuff. It's a lot of good information, but it's good stuff to digest and go, you know what, next time I go into my church building or I go into my community, whatever that community is, business or whatever, I'm going to be that fierce participant.
Yes.
And people are going to understand that through me. So
Love it.
that's awesome.
To see and hear more about Here Be Lions, check out our website at herebelions.org. Don't be a stranger, be our friend, and like or follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages. By doing so, you will also receive regular updates and additional content.
Hey guys, it's James here. If you like what you heard today, go to herebelions.org/fierce for a free download of our single Be Fierce. Go ahead, do that today. I'm serious. Right now. Go for it. All right, that was that was Be Fierce.
Yes,
That
it
was-
is.
That was the Be Fierce attitude.
That was awesome.
Man, you're really good at this stuff.
Man, I love it.
I love it. And we
But-
love doing
yeah.
it for you guys out there too.
Well, and it's awesome to be able to do it with the team,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, that's our whole team. And so the attitude wasn't just birthed out of a good idea. It was actually something we've just been doing.
we were living it.
And you're trying to help other people be able to attain that level. And they're asking us, like, how do you do it? And really, we find a group to do it with.
Yep.
Families to do it with. So, yeah, this is a great opportunity this month, I think, to continue to press that and help other people maybe grab onto that attitude.
Absolutely. Make sure you connect with us at herebelions.org to find out events where we're coming near you and to find out all sorts of other information. So make sure you check that out and check out our other ministry, healingisright.com as well. We talked about that last month, but please go continue to use that as a resource in your local communities. And we'll see you. Well, we'll
No,
talk to
you'll
you.
see us
You'll see us. So
next
we
week.
won't see you unless you send us. Never mind. We'll talk to you next week. Bye.
Bye.